Hello, everyone, and welcome to our new podcast right here on the TSJW Network, the Mississippi Trellis Williams Podcast. I'm your host, Trellis Williams. On this show, we cover all topics Mississippi, from sports to other topics. And today, we've got a very special guest for our first show. It is Josh Brooks, the new head coach for the Mississippi College Choctaws men's basketball team. He comes from great success, coming from Belhaven, where he had a lot of good stuff going on there, I'll tell you. And he's no stranger to MC, as he spent 10 years there as an assistant. He was very gracious to join us on our show, and he's our first guest. The show begins right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mississippi Trellis Williams Podcast. I am Trellis Williams, your host. Today, we have a very special guest. We have a basketball coach. He is now the head coach of the Mississippi College Choctaws basketball team. He got started in his career at Belhaven University, where he spent 2 seasons as an assistant coach before dipping into the high school ranks as head coach at Hernando High School. After compiling a 75-41 record there as head coach, he headed down to Clinton, where he spent 10 seasons as assistant coach there at MC. And then he went back to the high school ranks as head coach at Jackson Academy. After a successful 4-year stint there at JA, he went back to college, this time as head coach at Belhaven University once again, where he brought them success that they had not seen in recent memory. Now, he has been named the head coach at Mississippi College. Of course, we're talking about Coach Josh Brooks, head coach of MC. Coach, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, Coach. And I want to start off by asking you to take us through that moment that you got the call to be the head coach at MC, a place you had spent 10 years as an assistant.
Yeah, it was really, really a thrill for me, for sure. I love Mississippi College. It was a very important place to me. Going to college here, playing for Mike Jones, and Coach Jones was such a mentor to me, such a example to me, someone I learned so much of what I do now as a basketball coach from. And, a lot of my best friends that I still have were guys and girls that I met here. And then, of course, I met my wife here. So this is a really special place. And was able to come back as an assistant and loved my time doing that. A lot of the same people that were here while I was an assistant are still here. Just a perfect job for me, a dream job, really, to be able to follow in Coach Jones' footsteps and just continue to build on the legacy that he established, and looking forward to bringing it to back to that level and to even higher heights in the future.
Absolutely. So I want to go to your background now. You spent time at multiple places coaching. You spent time at MC. You spent time at Belhaven as assistant and head coach. Just talk about your career and how you moved through your career.
Yeah, so I actually started, first coaching jobs was assistant coach at Jackson Prep and 2 years at Hillcrest, where we won overall with, and I was Coach Bezot's assistant, which Kenny Bezot is our athletic director here at Mississippi College. So I've known him since, back the year 2000, 2001 to 2002, there in that range, where we were very successful at Hillcrest Christian, and then just really, had the desire to coach on the college level, and was fortunate enough to get the job at Belhaven. So able to stay in town. It's interesting, coaches move around a lot. I have changed jobs a good bit, but I've just stayed in Jackson, Mississippi for most of them. So was able to spend a couple of years there, and then loved my time at Hernando High School. Really really special team, guys I still stay in touch with now. We were able to take that program from, being basically an average high school team to where we were. I think our last season we finished 28-7. Had outstanding year, but more importantly than that, we had just a great team culture, relationships that were really meaningful. But again, I think my desire has always been college coaching, just the commitment level, the intensity, the immersion of yourself and in your players really into this journey of basketball. Guys that come to play for us on the college level, they just love it. This is what they want. This is what they're outside of family and hopefully the Lord, their main their thing is basketball. And so I wanted to get back, and gosh, was so fortunate to have Coach Lofton call me and asked me to come be his assistant here at Mississippi College, and had 10 great years. It was a transition time. MC was, historically has been a Division II institution for most of its history, but had a short stint in Division III. And so when I first came, we were Division III, but were made the jump to Division II. So that transition was a challenge for sure. But we were able to have some good success early in the Gulf South. And, and after 10 years of being an assistant, my wife and kids were in a great situation. So we really didn't want to leave the area, but wanted to pursue head coaching. And so that's what led me to JA, and, was able to do that for 4 years. And it was great for my kids, but really was excited to have the opportunity to go back to Belhaven and build something. They had actually moved from NAIA to Division III, which was a significant step up in competition level. And, for the most part, it's and Belhaven really struggled for 9 years before we got there. And then my assistant, Coach John Works, and I we worked really hard, and we're very, very fortunate to have some great guys and really good players to come, and we're able to really build something special there, and finishing with a conference championship this past year, and just one of the best seasons in Belhaven history. And so yeah, then, obviously here we are back to Mississippi College, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be here. There's certainly some challenges ahead. We've got to bring this thing back from a place where it's not in a good place in terms of what it's been doing on the court, and so we got to change that, and it's going to take a lot of work, but we're really, really excited to do it.
Definitely. I was watching your press conference, and you were talking about how when you were 15 years old, you knew you wanted to be a coach. Just take us through that. Take us through your love of the game and love of coaching.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, it really was that love of the game that made me want to coach. I wanted to be a part of it. I was a good player, not a great player. I tell people all the time, I think I'm a much better coach than I was a player. But the love of the game was there. I loved the basketball. I ate it up and played it all the time, and was in the gym as much as I could. And but I think as my career got going, it was more the relationships and the leadership aspect that I really love about coaching. I think I could have loved coaching anything, to be honest. I do love basketball, and I love the strategy of it, and I've grown to so much in my knowledge of it and study it all the time. But the relationships and the culture building, and helping bring young men from where they are to where they can be, to help them reach their potential, both as a basketball player, but also, and more importantly, as a man. That's the part of coaching that I think I love the most, and have really didn't have a clue about that when I was 15. then it was all about just the sport of basketball. But since it's been much more about the relationships and helping develop people, training. Way I phrase it is that what we do here is we train men for greatness, and that's really the part of coaching that I love the most.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the importance of Christian coaching. You talked about that as well in your press conference, how it was the importance of being a Christian coach and not just a coach who happens to be a Christian. And so just talk about the role of your faith in your leadership as a coach.
Yeah, so I mean, I think for all of us, what being a Christian is to follow Christ in every area of your life, and that it not be compartmentalized to, I go to church and, follow some level of morality, but rather I follow Christ in everything that I do, and everything is informed by who I am as a Christian and who I am because of my relationship with Christ. And so I think the first and most important way that being a Christian affects my coaching is that my identity, my value is cemented in the fact that Christ loved me, that he died on the cross for me, that I'm, when I accepted him, I became a child of God. And that's who I am, and no amount of wins or losses or fame or, people's, all the criticism that you get as a coach, none of that can change who I am. And none of that can have any effect on who I am. And I think that allows me to not coach from a place of using players. I think too much coaches, and that, most coaches don't know they're doing it. They don't intend to do it. But when we need players to validate our existence, to make our life valuable, to make us feel important and good about ourselves, and to establish our identity, then the only thing we can really do is use them. And so I think by having my identity in Christ, that it allows me to be free to really love my players and to seek what they're best, and to, kind of let my own journey take care of itself, because I know the Lord has my journey mapped out, and I can trust that, and I don't have to put so much pressure on these young men that to hold up my value, and so I think that's the first and foremost way that being a Christian affects my coaches. But beyond that is just I'm so fortunate to have been most of my career at Christian universities, where the entire school, teachers, staff, administrators, that this is a team effort to help kids grow. College is a time when you grow the most during college, and so it's an opportunity to be a part of a team where we're all seeking to help kids grow and become really what God created them to be, and introduce them to Christ. And so certainly in Mississippi College, I have the freedom and the ability to share my faith with my players, and we do that all the time. And again, I said this in the press conference that was modeled to me by Mike Jones, who he was the coach here when I played, and we had devotions on game days, every game day, and he wasn't bashful about telling us that he followed Christ, and I think that was really monumental in my career, to see a coach who's a Hall of Fame coach, over 700 winning percentage, just an unbelievable successful coach, and an intense coach. He got after us. That you can be all of those things: successful, intense, demanding, and yet still prioritize sharing your faith with your players. And so I think that probably is something that's important to me. And I'm thankful to be at Mississippi College where I'm free to do that, and where it's not just me doing it, but it's everyone on campus pouring into these kids.
Yes, and a big aspect of this job, coaching, especially coming in new, fresh to a new school, is trying to build harmony amongst your players early on and quickly. And so, how do you do that? How do you go recruit these players, get them together, and make them gel?
Yeah, it's a process. We are very intentional about having team events where we're getting together off the court and getting to spend time together. We'll do several character building, team building activities in the fall, whether it be, just a meeting where we're talking, or actual physical. And of course, the preseason is, the weights and the conditioning and all that. And it has a way of developing camaraderie. And we're going to talk a lot about the importance of how we treat each other. My message to my team is there's nothing more important than how we treat each other. It's more important than winning and losing. We're not going to sacrifice treating each other with respect at any point. And so we're going to focus on that. We're going to harp on that. We're going to talk about being unselfish, and we're going to model it as coaches. But there's a lot of things you can do to build chemistry, but ultimately the players have to set the tone, and it's going to take some team leaders coming in and establishing themselves as leaders, and establishing themselves as leaders who are willing to be unselfish and to put the team first. And it takes players. Coaches, I talk about it sometimes. I compare it to a great cook who makes, or someone who's baking a cake. You can put all the right ingredients in there, the same ingredients you always put in, and sometimes it just doesn't come out quite as good, and other times it comes out better than you could have ever dreamed. And you don't know what the difference is. You say, well, I did everything the same both times. But sometimes building a team culture can be a little bit of that. If you don't put the right ingredients in, you're not going to get a good team culture. But even if you do, sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's just okay. And so I think the difference in that is all dependent on how well the leaders on the team buy into what you're selling. And hopefully we're recruiting guys that are the kind of guys that we want, that are going to buy into, hey, this is about the team. This is about helping my teammates be better. This is about loving my teammates first. And then secondly, it's about me reaching my individual dreams. And so, we're trying to recruit guys who have been exposed to that at a younger age, and are willing to hopefully embrace that. Hey, I want my dreams. I want to go pro one day. I want to, be an all-conference player, but I'm not going to prioritize that in such a way that it hurts the team or hurts a teammate. And that to be willing to say, I'm willing to put my dreams secondary to what's best for the team, what's best for my teammate. And it's a process, and that's something that we all, we all grow in that. That's really the definition of greatness. It's to be the kind of person that is willing to sacrifice for the betterment of those around us. And to me, that's the definition of greatness. And that level of sacrifice is not probably a place you ever get to fully in this life. It's a journey of becoming better in that way throughout your life. And that's why I tell our players that this journey to become great that we're trying to convince you to be a part of is one that I'm on too. And that, hopefully,
right.
Hopefully that we help you become a great man, and you help us as coaches become great men. This is a team. We're not we're not just here to give to the players. We gain so much and are challenged so much by our players. You know, we know we need to improve in every area of our life, and certainly in our coaching, but even as men. And the players help us do that, and we want them to help us do that. It's a journey toward greatness that we're all on together. It's not players only.
Yes, and it's going to be a real challenge in the GSC. Obviously, GSC, one of the toughest conferences in Division II, and you know it better than anybody. You've been coaching in this league in the past. Just kind of talk about that, how you're going to have to get your team to play at that high level to be able to compete every night over the course of conference play.
Yeah, you know, that certainly is one of the best Division II conferences in the country. It's a very high level of basketball, and you know, it's going to be a challenge. I think our guys will be aware of it. We're fortunate to have a few returners. We don't have many, but a few that will be able to kind of tell the new guys, hey, this league's real. You know, we got to get ready. But you know, all our guys are going to be competitive. They're going to rise to the challenge. That one of the hardest things about the Gulf South is that we got 12 teams and we play everybody twice. So that's 22 conference games. You know, 11 other teams play 22 conference games, 22 out of 28 total. And so it's a war every time you go out there. You know, there's not, you know, you may have other teams that have a few more non-conference may be able to have some cupcakes in there here and there to try to make the record look better, to take a little break, to maybe have a game to get your confidence back. But for us, it's going to be a challenge every time we go out there. And so certainly it's messaging. We're going to be talking about it nonstop, and we're going to work really, really hard. We're going to be real demanding in practice. We're going to practice at a high level. I'm hopeful that, and I feel good about our recruiting right now, that we'll have the depth to make our practices really competitive and challenging, and get ready, because it really is a high level of basketball, right up there with a lot of your low Division I leagues.
Yes, and how are you going to address the attendance issue? I'm an alumnus at MC. Spent a couple years on the team. We always struggled with attendance. Not a whole lot of students coming to the games. Obviously, not something fully in your control, but something that you could try to help with. How are you going to address that?
Well, you know, the biggest thing is we've got to team up with student engagement on campus, and they're great.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about teaming up with them. I don't know that a lot of that was done in the past, and so really wanting to be proactive in asking them, hey, what can we do? What do you think would work? There's, in some ways, college students love to come and see people they know, and so we want to have events or activities at halftime and during timeouts that involve students. So we'll be working on doing some of those things. For sure, we're going to try to, as a basketball team, be a part of campus and not be a bunch of guys who aren't really members of the student body. We want to be involved. We want to partner with some of the clubs on campus and do some service projects with them, not just do our own, where we're getting to spend some time with them. And then, I think being out in the Clinton community as well, being a part of the community with the players and the coaches, and reminding people of the high level of basketball that's being played. But there's a lot, like you said, a lot of it is not completely in my control. But I know that that all of our athletic administration and Blake Weir and his staff are excited about creating a really fun and entertaining game day experience. And I'm actually really confident that we're gonna turn that around pretty quickly.
And I would think so too. I know a lot of Choctaw fans are very excited about you coming and being the head coach just because of your success in the past. I mean, you look at basically everywhere you've gone, you've done some winning. And at MC, it's just kind of been a struggle the past, probably 10 years or so to just kind of get winning seasons at the GSC Division II level. What's your final message to MC fans heading into this season?
Yeah, just come out and support us. We're gonna turn this thing around. There's no question about that. Now, how quickly we can do it, I'm not sure. It sometimes it takes longer to establish a culture. Sometimes it can happen pretty quickly. And so I'm hopeful that it'll be pretty quick. But the one thing that I can guarantee you is that we're going to love our players. We're going to demand that they represent Mississippi College well. And I think the people of Mississippi College, the alumni, students, faculty, staff, if they can come watch a bunch of guys who are representing MC well, I think they'll come, and so I would just say that we're going to do that. We're going to represent Mississippi College really well, and we're just really excited to turn this thing around quickly. And again, the thing that I think is really special for me to be here is that I was here with Coach Jones and Coach Lofton, and I know the history and I know the legacy that's been here, not just on winning and losing, but in changing lives. And so it's personal to me to turn this thing around, and so we're going to, and I'm excited about it. And come out and support us. Come see us. Come by the Coliseum during the day, and come by my office and sit down and visit. I love talking to Choctaws.
Well, MC Choctaws basketball has some exciting times ahead. Coach Brooks, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. And again, we want to give our appreciation to Coach Josh Brooks of the Mississippi College Choctaws for joining us right here on the Mississippi Trellis Williams Podcast. And we'll see how MC does, but I have a feeling that they're going to have a lot of good stuff coming down the pike with Brooks at the helm. But next week, we have a big one as well. We have the outgoing MC head coach who's heading down to Copiah Lincoln Community College. That's Coach Randy Bolden, who's had a lot of success, brought MC their first couple GSC tournament appearances in a long time. And now he's down there at Co-Lin. We talk with him next week right here on the show. But right now, I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button to the TSJW Network YouTube channel, like this video, and share it with anybody who may be interested in the Mississippi Trellis Williams Podcast. I'm Trellis Williams. We out.